Reddit has quickly become one of the most popular social media sites within the last few years. From subreddits of cute animals, advice about makeup, or just a place where like-minded people can chat. With over 1.2 million subreddits, there are bound to be a few mysteries lurking in the depths of Reddit. Here are 5 of the darkest Reddit mysteries. Number 5. The first mystery comes from an Ask Reddit thread in 2012. The original poster has since deleted their account, however, the comments and original questions still remain. They titled their post, "Have you ever felt a deep personal connection to a person you met in a dream, only to wake up feeling terrible because you realized they never existed?" It wasn't long before a user chimed in, and they made it clear that the account they were using was a throwaway, as they didn't want to be tracked. The post starts with the commenter saying he was assaulted by a 325-pound football player while at college. He was knocked unconscious for an undisclosed period of time and claimed to have lived a different life while he was out cold. He details how in this version of his life, he met the love of his life. They got married and had a daughter. Everything seemed perfect: a nice house, a good job, a loving wife, and children, but something was off. In his comment, he writes, "One day, while sitting on the couch, I noticed that the perspective of the lamp was odd, like inverted. It was still in 3D, but just wrong. I was transfixed and I couldn't look away from it. I stayed up all night staring at it. The next morning, I didn't go to work. Something was just not right about the lamp." He finally had an epiphany. The lamp wasn't real, just like everything else in this version of events. When he finally came to, a police officer was picking him up off the street and putting him into the back of a police car to transport him to the hospital. The commenter describes how over the next few years, he suffered from a deep depression as he mourned the loss of his wife and children that he never even had. Many commenters chimed in on how the poster could have experienced a surge in the chemical DMT, which is released when the body is near death. However, other posters have pointed out more towards a slip in the matrix, with other commenters reporting a similar thing. Was this person's experience down to their brain trying to comfort them in what was thought to be their last moments? Or was there something with the brain or alternate dimensions that we don't know yet? Let me know what you think in the comments. Number 4. In February of 2013, a Reddit user named Joel Likes Music posted to the r/Houston subreddit, asking if anyone knew what was going on in room 322 of Hotel Zaza. He writes, "Seriously, the room had a chain holding the bed to the wall, pictures of skulls, and a creepy incongruous painting of an old man. The room was about 1/3 the normal size, with the furniture blocking part of the TV, bed, and window." The Redditor prefaces this with saying that he had stayed at Hotel Zaza many times before and was a frequent visitor due to his work arrangements. He said how the rooms they usually had were swanky, sleek, and high-end. However, his colleague had somehow ended up in room 322. When they approached the front desk to ask them what was going on with 322, the receptionist looked back at them in shock and said that room isn't supposed to be rented, and his colleague was moved immediately without further explanation. The original post includes ominous images of the room. It's complete with a concrete floor, brick walls, and creepy paintings, whose eyes seem to follow you around the room. There's even a photograph of an unknown man in a suit that appears to be watching over you at all times. Many commenters were quick to point out that the number 322 has connections to the infamous Skull and Bones Society based at Yale University. Sometimes known as the Order 322, or the Brotherhood of Death, many theories have popped up about who the Skull and Bones Club really are. Theories range from a society of the most elite at Yale University to get together and share in their successes and wealth, to them being a part of the Big Three societies who control the world and every aspect of our lives. Other commenters mentioned that the mirror could be a two-way mirror and joined to the room next door. Perhaps this room is used by the elite to gain leverage on people. Whatever the truth is, it sure is terrifying. Number 3. If you've been on Reddit for a while, you'll be familiar with the mystery that is Lake City Quiet Pills and the Old Man's Image host. In July of 2009, a user by the name of 2-6 posted an obituary post about a Reddit user known as Religion of Peace. Religion of Peace was quite well known on Reddit and was the moderator of the subreddit r/jailbait. While nothing in this subreddit was illegal, it contained pornographic images and videos of models who appeared to be under the age of consent. While they were not and were consenting adults, the fact that they appeared to look like teenagers raised a lot of moral questions. The r/jailbait subreddit wasn't the only odd thing that Religion of Peace was involved in. In many of the discussions, he would bring up how he was a World War II veteran, but said little more about the fact. He seemed to know a lot about military technologies, leading people to wonder his true motivations for being on Reddit. It also came out that he owned a website called LakeCityQuietPills.com, which many have alluded to as being bullets. A commenter pointed out that LCAAP, also known as Lake City Army Ammunition Plant in Independence, Missouri, produces most of the bullets for the US government and NATO. For the quiet pills part, some have speculated that this is Army lingo, but many think it refers to getting someone killed to stop them from spreading information. It didn't take long for Redditors to do what they're so famously known for doing, and they began digging for any piece of information from LakeCityQuietPills.com. That's when they discovered hidden messages in the coding of the website. On the surface, it appears that this website was nothing more than an image hosting service, but deep down it was hiding something darker. Many of the messages pointed towards the website being a place where assassins and mercenaries could meet and get jobs. The most interesting message was alluding to a party that was going to be thrown in honor of Religion of Peace. This party just so happened to be on the day that the Hamas leader was assassinated. So was this just a coincidence, or was Lake City Quiet Pills a hub for assassins? The website's data has since been encrypted, but it does appear to still be active. Number 2. This next story comes from the Off My Chest subreddit, a place where people can go and make throwaway accounts or use their own to say whatever is on their mind, and as the title suggests, get things off their chest. A user by the name of Poisoned by Mom made a lengthy post of how they believed that he'd been poisoned by his mother. The poster details how his mother is abusive and very possessive. They explain that they're an adult, but their mother is very against them moving out of the house and tells them how a job wouldn't be able to support them or that they would hate working. The post goes on to say how they finally managed to get a job being a programmer, which saw them having to move to a different city. The poster welcomed the idea of moving away, but his mother wasn't so sure. On the day that the poster was set to leave to start their new life, their mother gave them 2 cups of ramen noodles, along with some other non-perishable items to help them get started. While this seems like a normal thing to do when your child moves away, the poster was pretty suspicious and thought that their family was trying to sabotage them. They even began getting phone calls from their mother reminding them to eat the noodles. After becoming hungry and not wanting to cook after their first day at work, the poster ate the noodles and immediately fell ill. They described how they felt sick, lightheaded, and very short of breath. After Googling the symptoms, the poster was convinced they'd been the victim of cyanide poisoning by their mother. They even went so far as to order an online detection kit and posted the results along with their story. Off My Chest wasn't the only subreddit that Poisoned by Mom went to for help. They also posted to subreddits dedicated to those raised by narcissists, and even went to the legal advice subreddit in hopes of getting some answers on whether they could take legal action. The last post from the poster comes from 8:45 a.m., and they say they're in Topeka, Kansas, and currently searching for law enforcement. However, the officer they spoke to said that since the ramen noodles had been opened, there was nothing they could do to prove that the contamination or poisoning came from their mother. This post was written in 2013, and no other posts have been made by this user. Since this seems to be a throwaway account, it's unlikely we'll ever find the true identity of this poster, though it does seem strange that no further updates have ever been posted. Number 1. This creepy mystery leaves more questions than answers, and is a good example of why you shouldn't go exploring in random places. The original poster has since deleted their account since making the post in 2012. It was originally posted on the Let's Not Meet subreddit and simply titled The Bridge. The post follows 4 friends as they climb inside a bridge located on a dual carriageway in North Wales, UK. The poster explains how there isn't much for 4 teenage boys to do in the small town they live in, so one night they decided to go exploring. That's when they found a manhole cover that led to inside of a bridge. It required certain tools to gain entry, so they came back at a later time, armed with everything they would need. The passage was extremely narrow, and all 4 of them had to army crawl on their front through a damp and musty bridge, and that's when they found it. Around halfway into the bridge's passage, they found a single chair facing the wall. The wall was crudely plastered with the photo of a naked woman in a sexually suggestive position. The poster made the comment, "The reason I don't refer to it as pornography is because there was something different about it. I can't seem to put my finger on it, but it seemed more sinister than sexy, if that makes sense." Upon closer inspection, they found the eyes of the woman had been cut out with some accuracy. This wasn't a hack job or ripping them out sort of job. The 4 made an even more disturbing discovery as they found a condom that was drenched in blood. Not wanting to stick around to find out more, the boys swiftly left and took as many photos as they could. There is a second part to the story, and many commenters pleaded for an update, wanting to know what else lay in the murky depths of the bridge. A few months later, the original poster came back with The Bridge Revisited. This post mostly consisted of a brief update, and a link back to the original post for anyone who wasn't caught up on the story. It also contained an imager link to what else the boys had found. These images showed a makeshift bed, a dirty and discarded bedsheet, a broken padlock, a used candle, some rope, some ominous-looking liquid inside of a milk container, crime scene tape that read "Crime Scene Do Not Enter," a discarded knife, and another explicit photograph that had cigarette burns. After making this discovery, the boys took photos to document their journey and vowed never to return to the bridge again. This left the Reddit community wondering who lived in the bridge, why was there a condom filled with blood, and why was there a knife, and most importantly, what were they up to? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to click that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to keep up to date with all of our future uploads. But I've been Ty Knotts, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.